I love New Bedford. I love New Bedford. This is such a region with so much history. It's contributed so much to the culture and the quality of our state. It's fantastic to be here with Mayor Mitchell, who has been such an incredible leader on so much over the last 10 years. And to see the possibility here, to see the transformation that's already happened here, is really, really inspiring. So I'm down here with our team. We know that offshore wind is our future as we transition away from fossil fuels, and New Bedford is the centerpiece of the offshore wind industry. And as Attorney General, I want to do everything I can to support efforts and initiatives out of New Bedford. This is so important to enabling us as a state to meet our climate goals. And it's also a huge driver for economic development. When you think about the jobs, when you think about the industries that are going to come with this offshore wind industry, I learned a lot in talking to the mayor and his team about all of this, and I'm just really excited and want to be a real champion for this region.
Well, I was going to say, what did you learn today? What did you want to see? What did they show you?
We toured up and down. The coast here, and we could see the various sites that are available for development, where entities and industries and companies can locate. Some are already in the process, I think, of being out to bid. Others, we've got federal funding coming. It's an exciting opportunity, and it's about strategically deploying it. And the thing I also learned is New Bedford is situated, unlike some other places, including other parts of the country. New Bedford is ready to go. I mean, New Bedford is ready to go, and I think companies coming in here should feel really, really great about the opportunities here in the New Bedford region.
So the governor was here today. Was there a coincidence to that? Do you think he was trying to swoop in on your?
No, we were trying to photobomb that event. So the Attorney General got in first, so she staked a reservation for this time in this place first, and so the governor was second. So we couldn't be at both places at once, but everybody was talking to one another, and we had a failed attempt at a photobombing down at the New Bedford Marine Commerce Terminal. There's some members of the media that saw us there too on the boat.
So, General, I'll ask you. I think you said a couple of months ago, around fall, you would determine whether or not you'd run for governor. Today might be the first day of fall, so I'll ask you, any more consideration on your political future?
No, I'm still thinking all of that through. But it was fun to be down here today. I have to say, I think it's a great sign for the region too that both the governor and I are down here. It shows New Bedford's, prominence and value, and it's a place where, I really believe so much in Mayor Mitchell's leadership, and I'm excited about the possibilities in this region.
On a different question, Twitter and social media sites selling vaccine cards. I think you had some thoughts on what's happening there. If you just want to share with us what your concern is, what you've asked those companies to do or not do.
Well, shut it down. I mean, we're talking about people's health here, and to the extent there are fake vaccination cards out there, that is such a harm to public health. It is criminal. It is illegal. We will work as an office to combat that, but it is just not something that anyone should engage in this day and age.
On the vaccination front, do you have any opinions on mandatory vaccinations, either for state workers? I know the state police union is suing the governor over the mandate, or even beyond that, healthcare workers or anything like that. Do you think they're on firm legal ground to force people to get the vaccine?
Well, I do. In fact, I mandated vaccines a while ago in my office, and obviously, within the law, there are certain exceptions that are available to people. But yes, I think that mandatory vaccines are perfectly legal. We are dealing with challenges right now in the courts, but I think the larger point is this. We know vaccinations work. Vaccinations work. We need people to get vaccinated. If for whatever reason people haven't, I just encourage people to go out and get educated, listen to their doctor, talk to their doctor. I'm excited to hear the news this morning about the FDA's potential approval soon for at least the Pfizer vaccine for kids 5 to 12. And for parents out there, if you have somebody in your household 12 years old and up, please go get them vaccinated.
And just can I interject one thing? Just self-serving ways. in a region of Massachusetts, Brian, of course, that has very low vaccination rates sort of compared to the nation and to Massachusetts, and that is we encourage every employer to mandate vaccines at this point. We have worked very hard here in Greater New Bedford to incent folks to get their shots, and that's ranged from gift cards to other giveaways, and we've made it readily available, so everybody knows it's out there. There's no access issues or awareness issues. So as I think we about 3 weeks ago now, I issued an order to require folks, city employees, to get vaccinated. I did it as a way of setting an example for other large employers in the region. We just haven't had many that have stepped up and have done that. We need them, and so like I said, I really want to emphasize that we need employers to finally say, what, to recognize that it's in their enlightened business interest. It's good for their bottom line if they get all of their employees vaccinated. And the only way to do that now, frankly, is by mandating it.
Well, I was going to ask, is there anything more that the state or government can do? You said there's no access issue. Is there more they can do? Is there anything else you can do to convince people, or do you see employers as kind of the key piece to this right now as a way to make people do it?
Yeah, I think employers play a pivotal role right now. I mean, I don't know what else it would take for me to try to persuade folks to get the vaccine or any of the vaccines. We through every media channel we've been encouraging people to get the vaccine through. We have clinics somewhere in the city every single day, and that's on top of the vaccines that all the pharmacies offer and all the medical providers offer. We are awash in vaccine doses. That's not the issue anymore. The issue is just bringing people around to the idea that they should take it. And I would just offer up this one fact. In the last month, in the city of New Bedford, 11 New Bedford residents have died of COVID in the last month. Every single one of them was unvaccinated. Every single one, without exception. And look, how many people have to die in order to impress upon people that the vaccine is actually A, non-harmful, and B, life-saving. So look, what I say to folks is, if that's not good enough for you, go talk to your doctor, the same doctor you rely on for advice on every other medication you might take. So vaccine's just one more.
General, just one more for you on the Uber Lyft independent contractor. Serge, I know you're still fighting it in court, but the voters are going to be asked about it as well. What are your thoughts on what you're doing and what you would say to the voters now facing that?
I think that my office allowed that to go forward to be on the ballot. We'll see if they get the signatures. But a year ago, my office filed suit against Uber and Lyft, and we did that because they aren't being fair with their workers. They're not treating their workers as they're supposed to be treated under Massachusetts employment law. And there are reasons we have employment laws on the books. They ensure all sorts of protections, whether you're talking about minimum wage or earned sick time. Employers are supposed to pay into the workers' comp system. Uber and Lyft don't. I mean, all of this hurts workers. So it's why my office sued and asked the court to make clear and declare that Uber and Lyft drivers are actually employees and not independent contractors. I realize that the gig economy is growing, and it's grown exponentially. People benefit from that. I'm sure they've enjoyed, the growth in that and what it's made possible in our lives. That said, it comes with a cost, and basic protections got to abide, including protections for employees.
Attorney General, based on your tour today of the New Bedford Harbor, were there anything based on your observation that needs to be done right now and that can be done in the immediate future?
Well, I think we've got to continue to support New Bedford. We've got to continue to support the mayor and his team. We've got to continue as a state, and my office is very focused on this, both in our work advocating, whether it's at the Department of Public Utilities or other state and federal agencies, in support of this industry and growing this industry for all the reasons that I mentioned, environmental as well as economic. And so that's what my takeaway is that we as a state really need to really push ahead aggressively to support our partner here in New Bedford. It's exciting. There's a great opportunity. And also, people should come visit too. People should come visit and spend time. This is an area that's great for recreation as well. as well as industry. And I did not realize that there are over 350 boats that are home ported here, and another fishing vessels, and another 150 fishing vessels from elsewhere that land here. So it's a significant and meaningful operation here in New Bedford.
So if I can just add one thing, Carrie, I can attest to the work that the Attorney General's office has been doing to help us incent economic development here in the offshore wind industry. She has very talented staff members, some of whom are here today, that have been working directly with us on the matter for years now. And what she has said, what the Attorney General has said over the years to me is like, whatever you need, just let us know. And she's delivered on that.
Do you think the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted any of those progressions moving forward?
Any of the what?
Do you think that the pandemic has kind of hindered any progressions moving forward for the city?
For the city generally, or the port?
For the port.
Let me field that. So as you know, because you've seen it, there was some disruption in the fishing industry and the fish processing industry for a while early in the pandemic. We worked really hard to ensure the safety of a lot of workplaces. There were clinics right on this pier testing fishermen preemptively. That was one of the things that we did, which was sort of a national model, ended up being a national model. And a number of other steps to keep people safe, but for the sake of themselves, but also to continue the supply chain here, which feeds a lot of America. As far as the offshore wind industry goes, I don't think COVID has slowed up anything, honestly. I think the Trump administration slowed up a lot of it, and to the extent that it is that there were a series of false starts over roughly a 4-year period is directly attributable to reluctance on the part of that administration to move offshore wind forward in America, and that has suddenly changed with the election of President Biden. And you guys know me, I don't tend to be all that partisan on such matters, but that was clearly something that interrupted the progress of the industry.
And then just one more question generally of your boat tour. I'm not sure if you're aware, but we had a yacht fire about a couple of weeks ago, and it destroyed a lot of the harbor. I'm not sure if there were any damages that you could see that were left over, if people were still cleaning up. Any of your observations?
No, I had heard about that, and that was distressing. And I didn't observe anything particular to that today.
I didn't point that area out to the Attorney General. That's over at Pope's Island. It was a big fire, and it's still being investigated by the State Fire Marshal's office. So I don't think she could comment on that investigation anyway, but I would think that there would be a report from the State Fire Marshal's office at some point that explains the causes.
General, on the Vineyard Wind project, you're okay with that as it stands? You don't have any problems with it? I just want to make sure you don't have any opposition to the project whatsoever, or any concerns?
She's been all for it.
No, I think I've been quite bullish on this from the very beginning, and we viewed it. You can talk to my chief, where's Rebecca Tepper, on this. I mean, we from the beginning, for a variety of reasons. Remember, it was Massachusetts that sued George Bush's EPA to get them to start to regulate greenhouse gases, and as we move to where we need to, this imperative to move away from fossil fuels. I mean, this is the industry, and New Bedford and this region is the centerpiece for this coast, and let's make it the best in the nation.
That's about all the time we have, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Nice to meet you all. Nice to meet you.